What is up, everybody? It is Monday. It is that first day that we're going to be kicking things off. We're going to be cranking it. It is that day that we restart. It is that day that we reset. Obviously, the weekends are time that we relax. For some of us, it's about being amazingly productive around the house. For some of us, we might have worked right through the weekend. And for others, it's a time to relax and reset. But no matter what, Monday comes back along and it is time to get it going. It's time to stomp on that accelerator. As one of our Overcome Army members said, it is time to get that rocket off the launch pad. Go time. So on Monday, we got to have the right mindset, and that is what this is about. This Monday muster, though, I want to talk to you guys about something that happened this weekend, and it's actually something that I recognized. I had to take a step back because this weekend I realized I needed to reset myself. I've written some great books, obviously, with some great guidelines on how to live your life. And I live my life this way, but I realized that I'd been letting myself slip in a couple of, really in a specific area of my life. And I think this happens a lot. I think it's something that many of us, as we get older, and when we've achieved a little bit of success, sometimes there's a natural hesitancy to not want to lean into failure. That's right. And so I'll give you an example. I'll give you how this happened. So over the last several weeks, I've had several teammates. I hang out with pretty high achieving, pretty competitive individuals. And one of those amazing individuals is Ray Care. And Ray is a physical beast. And if you guys don't know, Ray has been doing this weekly. It's called the 10-20 challenge. So it's 1,020 push-ups in an hour. It's 17 push-ups every minute. And Ray keeps telling me, man, you got to come on with me. You got to do this. Come on, man, let's do it. And I'll be honest, I've kind of deferred, and I'm like, Ray, I'm busy that day. But the reality is, in my mind, I was like, man, I don't think I can do that. There was a time in my past where I know I could crush it. And I'll be honest, I'll be honest, what it was is I started to think about, what if I fail? What if in front of all these people I do these, I try to do this challenge and I don't make it, man, what happens? And I'll tell you what, Ray asked me again on Saturday to do it. And I said, I don't think I can. And the reality was Sunday I started thinking about it and I was like, dude, you're afraid of failure and you're afraid of disappointing people. And as a leader, that's a natural tendency. But the reality is there's so many of us who are limiting ourselves and who are limiting our ability to grow. And I realized on Sunday morning, I was thinking about it. I was like, dude, where's that guy that leans into failure, that accepts maybe I'll fail, but guess what? I'll learn something from it. And you know what? There are so many people out there that live their lives this way. And as we get older and as we get into certain levels of comfort, it gets easier and easier to just say, you know what? My life is pretty good, or this situation's pretty good. I don't want to put myself out there and potentially fail. And I didn't want to do that either. I didn't want to be, go do social media with Ray. And, I was like, man, you're Jason Redman. You're the Overcome guy. What if people look at you and say, oh my God, Jason Redman couldn't even accomplish the 10-20 challenge. I'm going to stop following that guy. And I was like, oh my God, what if I disappoint these people? So, like I said, on Sunday morning, it made me realize you got to put that away, man, because here is the power of failure. And I'll tell you what, so Sunday afternoon, I decided that I was going to do the 10-20 challenge on my own. I just wanted to see where I was at. I wanted to see, how far could I go? Would I even be able to make it halfway? I was pretty sure I wasn't going to be able to do the whole thing. I'm in pretty good shape, but obviously I wondered about my elbow. I wondered about all these different things that could potentially stop me. And at the end of the day, it really wasn't my elbow, which was good for me to know. Really what it was just long-term muscle endurance. So I started the push-up challenge around 3 o'clock and I made it for 38 minutes. So 38 minutes. So I managed to do, 17 push-ups every minute. So, I made 38 rounds. You got to go 60. So I made it a little past halfway, but obviously I didn't make it. My muscles fatigued to the point that when I got to the 39th set, I made about 10 and I gave out. I could not do anymore. So what did that tell me? Well, one, it told me what I somewhat knew, that I didn't have the ability to do it, which is good in some ways. But two, it told me where I was at. And this is one of the biggest things about failure. So failure enables three things. One, it gets us outside of our comfort zone, guys. It's so easy to settle into our comfort zone and just be like, I don't want to do that because this is what I do, this is how I live my life. So I don't want to put myself out there where people may think down of me because I failed. And the reality is we learn so much about ourselves. And guys, I talk about it all the time. How do we get outside of our comfort zone? Well, we do things that are uncomfortable. We do things that maybe we recognize we don't have the ability to do. And that push-up challenge was a perfect example of that. I didn't think I had the ability to do it, and I didn't. And I had to get outside of my comfort zone. So I'm going to do it. But now I know where I am within these things. So number one, embracing failure or doing something that we know we may not be able to make gets us outside of our comfort zone. Number two, failure lets us know where we are, and it makes us stronger to be able to overcome it. So now I know I made 38. I made it to 38 rounds, and I got to go to 60. So now I know where I am. So now I know what I need to work up to. So I need to push myself a little further. I need to start adding in a lot more push-ups into my workouts every day. So, in the morning I like to get up and move my body. So I haven't been doing it. Growing up, I used to always get up and I would do, when I was getting ready for SEAL training, I would do pull-ups. I had a pull-up tree in my room, and I would do push-ups. Every day I would get up and crank those out. So I know I need to incorporate that back into my life again in order to really build my push-ups back up. Because I learned it wasn't my elbow. My elbow was sore like it always is, but it didn't stop me from doing it. So, so this is one of the most critical things. If we're afraid of failure, well, where are we in that failure cycle? So for me, I was, so Patrick Hill did the math for me. Thank you very much. 646 push-ups. So I was 354 push-ups shy of my goal. So I know that I've got to amp it up to be able to do those 1,020 push-ups in an hour. So now I know where I am, and now I know what I need to do to overcome it. And guys, the last thing about failure is it keeps us humble. The failures that I've had in my past definitely keep me humble. There's no doubt about it. My leadership failure and being all shot up and being in the hospital with other people, my business failure, those things, they made me come to understand that everybody out there fails. Everybody goes through hard times, and not to judge others because of it. But it gets easy to settle into that status quo and just push ourselves away from failure because we're afraid of disappointing people like I was, or, afraid of whatever, just afraid of the personal letdown of getting outside of our comfort zone. So guys, I want to tell you on this Monday, I want you to lean into failure because it's going to make you better, guys. I'm guilty. I had, for the past several years, like I said, people had reached out, people had said, hey, come do this with us or come do that with us. And I had said, I don't know. I don't know if I want to do that because I can't do it at that level that I want to do it at. I wanted to be able to crank out the full 1,020 push-ups. And there are other things that I'm not going to be able to do, just for whatever reason. But it should not be a reason that I don't do it. Fear of failure should not be the reason why you don't do something. We can so much learn from it. So those three things one more time. Number one, fear of failure shouldn't stop you. You should lean into it. And the reason being is because it gets you outside your comfort zone. Number two, it lets us know where we are and where we need to go to overcome it. Even if you never accomplish it, it doesn't matter. At least you know where to go to get better. And that makes you better. And then the last one, it keeps us humble. We're able to say, you know what, I didn't make it, but at least I was here. I stepped up. I even attempted it. And I think those are some of the biggest things that forge that overcome mindset. So guys, that is the message on this Monday Muster. Don't be afraid of failure. Lean into it. It will make you better. I'm chasing Overcome Redman, and here I was, I'm telling everybody this, and even I have doubts, and even I have moments where I'm like, gosh, man, what if I disappoint people? So what? So what? You know what? The vast majority of the people can relate better to that, as opposed to the few that may say, oh my God, that guy couldn't do 1,020 push-ups, or that guy couldn't do this, that guy couldn't walk around the block. Whatever it is, everybody is at their own place. It should be about your ability to beat yourself and figure out where you're at and how you can get better and how we can never peak. So we should always be pushing. All right, guys, that is this Monday Muster. Get out there, lean into failure, get outside your comfort zone. Right now, in this crazy world we're living in, we have a lot of opportunities to make yourself better. So stop looking at it like, oh, I don't do this, I don't run, I don't lift weights, I don't do this, or I don't do that. Start. It's never too late to start. Whether it's 1,020 push-ups or it's 10 push-ups, it's never too late to start. Start building yourself and you will get better. All right, guys, that is today's Monday Muster. Get out there, crush it, get off that X, and overcome. All right, I will see you guys on the flip side.